Hello everybody, welcome back to Knox Asian Recipes. Today, eggplant sambal. This is a great dish, fragrant. These eggplants are very tender. It's the Asian variety of eggplant. There are many different types of eggplant. She's using today 3 green eggplants. You also have a purple variety like this one. They tend to be not as bitter as the big commercial purple Italian style eggplant, and a little bit thinner skin, a little more tender. So she cuts them up into pieces about 3 or 4 centimeters, and then she cuts each one into 4. Now she's going to chop up some shallots very fine because she's going to deep fry these for the topping. And now she's ready to prepare everything else that will go into the sambal base. And she doesn't have to cut it up very fine pieces. It's going to be fried, and then she'll run it through her mortar and pestle. So she's got a red onion, a few more shallots, some cloves of garlic. Then she's going to use some red chilies. These are not so spicy. If you don't like the sambal so spicy, you can stop with these. But since it's not, she's also going to use some small red chilies that are pretty spicy. The chilies she cuts into pieces no matter what before she cooks them, because sometimes if you cook the whole chili like this, it can explode and maybe spray the spicy juice in your face or something. And she's using a couple of medium-sized tomatoes for her sambal paste. You could use one big one if you wanted to. And very common in Southeast Asian cooking, kaffir lime leaves. This is an incredible fragrance that you get in this dish. You could experiment with other herbs if you don't get kaffir lime leaves. But we actually had to grow kaffir lime leaves in Costa Rica at our place, even though no one knows it there, because Nok needs it for her cooking. So on high heat, she's going to brown the eggplant pieces. She wants them to be crispy, so she doesn't cook them very much. She cooks them rather quickly on high heat, just to brown them all up, and then of course drain the oil while she's going to make her other ingredients. Setting the eggplant aside then, she proceeds to fry up her shallots, make them nice and brown and toasty. This is going to be the topping, and you want to do it on medium heat. They're very easy to burn. Okay then, now she's going to start to prepare the sambal base, and she first puts the onion and garlic in there for a little bit to let it release some of its fragrance, and then she'll add the chilies and tomatoes, and now she'll cook this up basically on medium heat until it's tender. Now, if you wanted to, you could run yours through a blender, but Nok prefers the mortar and pestle, the traditional method, and in this way also the texture comes out better. So a little salt and then a little bit of sugar for flavor, and then it's just a matter of working it. So you can see the interesting texture. If you would have run this through the blender, it would be more like a puree. And now she's going to cook her paste again, and eventually she's going to rinse out her mortar also with a little bit of water as this one dries up a little bit, and she'll want to get the flavor from her mortar, all of it in there. So she's been cooking the paste for about 5 minutes now, but after she adds the kaffir lime leaves, she'll continue cooking for another 10 to 15 minutes before she incorporates her eggplant pieces that coat it all together and get this one ready to serve. And a bit more salt if you'd like. Okay, and so she's added her eggplant, which of course was pre-cooked, so now she only has to cook it about 3 or 5 minutes together with the sambal paste so that it will be tender enough. And of course, it's always a good idea to taste and see if you need to add any more salt or anything else you want. So now we're ready to go, ready to serve. We'll eat this one with white rice. This is spicy enough for me. You saw that Nok put about 6 or 7 little red chilies in there. She'll usually tell me, no, I only put 2 or 3. But it's not too spicy either. Dress it with these shallots, which increases the flavor and the texture. And I hope you guys try this one at home. It's so delicious, very healthy, and you can experiment with different flavors, different kind of herbs. Bon appetit, and we'll see you next time.